morning, everyone, or afternoon, wherever it is your time. We're listening to Batya Levine, and I am so happy to have you here this morning. And you can be here with your camera off, you can be here with your camera on, you can sit as I do with an altar of the four elements, just a representation of fire, earth, water, and air, or you can just have a candle, or you can be in a place that feels safe and warm and just enjoying this beautiful time that you're giving to yourself. So this morning or today, and we have people here joining us from all the way in Europe and all the way in California. I'm here on the East Coast of the United States, welcoming all of you who might watch this later on YouTube, excuse me, or are with us now. It's so beautiful to be with you. So today I just want to talk a little bit about the notion of a quiet heart. There's a sense that as we're in these winter months, that darkness is something to avoid, that we turn all the lights on, and also the darkness in the world around us is challenging. The world inside us might be challenging. We are dealing with um, the one of the darkest times that I've ever experienced. And how do we hold that darkness? How do we move into it? Yesterday, our sit was really dedicated to the teachings of Dr. King. And one of the things that he said was that, when the sky is dark, then we see the most stars. And that's true for the new moon, which we just went through the new moon. And the new moon is a time when the sky is darkest from the moon, but brightest from the stars because we can see them. So, what can we see in the darkness? Ancient women gathered for the new moon celebrations, and one of the things that I noticed yesterday, it was actually from a children's book that said that the animals come out at night because it's safe. And I think the women came out to honor the new moon because it's safe. So there's something about darkness that's safe. And there's something about darkness that's bright because we can see the stars. So today for our sit, I pulled this card, which is the magician, the magus in this deck. And what I believe that we can pull from this for the sit is that sense of magic, that belief in the power of imagination. Because for me, imagination is the first step towards unleashing and evoking the magic, creative thought, all those things that our inner magician can bring us, especially in darkness. And also, there's a sense of discipline, of mastering that radical self-love. And the discipline begins in darkness. It begins with us closing our eyes or focusing on a single point and limiting the input from the outside world and gathering, feeling the safety of darkness and the safety of our own quiet heart. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Both it's a double lesson, sort of like the beautiful paradox that everything is, like the darkness and the brightness, which is that sense of mastery and discipline and that sense of magic. So that magical discipline, that creative thinking, that beautiful sense of magic, and the discipline of sitting in the magic. And that is coupled with this sense of a quiet heart, of the safety of darkness. So we're both working and we're not working. We're both putting our attention to breath and to imagination and to hope and to the stars. And we're also sitting in the quiet-hearted safety of our own beautiful darkness. And we are using this time to strengthen our radical self-love so that we can go and face the darkness and the challenges of the outside world. So the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to do a guided meditation, guiding you in, then I'm going to be quiet. We'll sit for 18 minutes and then hear another piece of music to bring us out into the day. So the sound of the bell invites us to close our eyes or to focus them on a single point if closing the eyes is challenging for you. But just allow that inner darkness, the safety of our own quiet heart. And we'll begin by connecting with our feet wherever they are, if they're folded underneath us, if they're out in front of us, or if they're touching the earth. If you're seated in a chair as I am, just connect with those feet and feel the energy of our great mother, this beautiful earth, coming up through the feet, bringing warmth and energy through the feet, up through the calves, through the knees, up the thighs, and to our seat. And here we feel our seat. We feel the sits bones wherever they are, however they're grounded. We imagine the tailbone. We imagine the very end of our spine, the spine that when we're standing or sitting, it's the part of the spine closest to the earth. And we'll awaken this imagination, this inner magician, to place in our mind's eye a cord around the end of the tailbone. And the other end of that cord is attached to a weight. And we imagine dropping that weight through the floor of the room that we're in, through the different layers of our building, down, through the crust of the planet, down through the many layers of planet Earth to the very core, the fiery core of the planet. And here we are grounded, and gracefully and gently we pull our tailbone down to ground with Earth. And when that happens, we feel the energy coming from the earth through our feet, circling up our calves, knees, thighs, into our seat and down the grounding cord. So we can feel that circle of energy in our lower body, grounding us to the earth, coming up through our feet, moving through our legs, and going down this beautiful grounding cord to the center of the planet. And if these images don't work for you, that's fine. Just let them go. We're just grounding. Anything I say, take it with a grain of salt, use it or let it go. Now, as we connect with that tailbone and we're connected to Mother Earth, we feel the lower back rising out from that grounding cord, rising up as the low belly leans back into the low back. So the belly button rests into the low back. So we have this long, low back. And then the mid back reaches up from that place with the ribs resting back into that mid back. And from there, the upper back stretches up, the heart resting back between the shoulder blades. And if you'd like now, you can raise your shoulders up to your ears and circle them back, feeling now that you release that neck and the back of the neck, the very last part of the spine, the cervical spine, reaches up from the back all the way up the neck and to the base of your skull. And here the chin rests back towards the neck. We feel our shoulders released away from the spine, away from each other, and the arms rest. Our resting wings come off the shoulders and rest in our lap or whatever surface they're resting on, all the way down to our hands, which are completely released. And now let's release one of the tightest held muscles in the body, the jaw, letting the jaw go slack. Feeling the muscles behind the eyes release. Feeling the face completely released. And we keep this attention to this posture, which is at the same time long and wide and completely released, all the muscles and bones just letting go, hanging off the skeleton, making room for breath as we welcome breath, breath that flows in and breath that releases out. And feel the breath, just watching the breath coming in and releasing out, feeling that small pause between breaths, between the exhale and the inhale, that still small emptiness. And just welcome into this rich darkness, this beautiful breath that quiets the heart and brings you into full present tense. And we're going to work with a 4-part breath this morning. And this again, I spoke about this yesterday, but any suggestion I give you for breath work is completely a suggestion. You can take it or leave it. It's simply something to focus on when you catch your mind running away, to call the mind back to the breath. And this breath is simply, if you empty your body of breath and you call the breath in to a gentle count, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you hold the breath, 2, 3, 4, and release the breath, 2, 3, 4, and stay empty, 2, 3, 4, and let the breath fall into the same count. It can be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 7, whatever you want, just evenly breathing in, holding the breath, breathing out, holding empty. And if this is difficult, we can just do the triangle breath where you breathe in for the same count that you breathe out, and you breathe in and you hold at the top and you breathe out. So whichever one of these works, the 3-part breath or the 4-part breath, this is our tool for calling the mind back to the breath as we sit in silence, allowing the heart to quiet, the breath flowing in and releasing out. I'm watching the time. You can completely release. I'll check back in at the midpoint of the sit and then towards the end. So I'm holding you You're safe in this darkness. Just focus on the breath and let go. Very gently, as you access that 4-part breath or the 3-part breath, or if you're just gently watching your breath in stillness, just reconnect with your posture, feeling the length of your spine as if someone's holding you behind your neck, behind the base of your skull, and gently pulling you up as your tailbone gently pulls down. Feeling the length of that spine and the open grace of your body moving with your breath. As the breath fills the body expands. As the breath empties, the body releases. And you feel that still small pause, whether you're using the count of breath or not. You feel that space between breaths. And the mind will run away. It always does. But it's as if you're leaning against the long, beautiful tree of your spine, this long, strong tree. And you're just sitting there in a beautiful field, leaning against this tree. And there's a puppy or a kitten playing. And that puppy or kitten is your mind. And it runs away from you, from the tree, and plays. And you gently call it back. And if you notice yourself deep in thought, especially thoughts that might bring you stress, you just call them back to the breath, back to that quiet heart, back to that safe darkness, using today's breathing tool if you need it. Feeling that quiet heart in this safe darkness with the stars of your imagination twinkling above. And in the last few minutes of our sit, I invite you to take some deeper breaths, perhaps calling in breath through the nose and releasing it through the mouth. Gentle sigh. Taking breath deeply into the heart and letting the exhale truly release the muscles and bones. Breathing deeply in these last few moments of this safe darkness and quiet-hearted sit. Notice if you're holding anywhere in your body and send breath there and release those muscles. Taking another couple of deep, delicious breaths. You can gently, gently open your eyes, welcoming the light of the sun, the light of your lamps, the light of your candle, just allowing that light to come in and join the quiet-hearted darkness we've been playing in. And I have three just offerings for your day today. One is to go inward whenever you remember to, whenever you feel the need to just close your eyes and take 3 delicious breaths, coming back to the darkness and the quiet-heartedness that always lives inside you. And then 2, to expand your consciousness with that wonderful sense of your own beautiful imagination, allowing yourself to see and hear with expansion and acceptance. And thirdly, to connect to yourself and perhaps to another in that true hearted way where you're just being yourself. And if there's not a human that you can do that with today, just do it with your own humanity or with an animal or with nature. So going inward, expanding consciousness through imagination and connecting to self and others, and rising to the day from this grounded place of breath. It's so beautiful to be with you. I'll be here the same time, Monday through Friday. It's just a joy to have you with us. And I'm playing a song now just to sing us into the day.
We rise, humbly hearted rise. be divided. Rise with Spirit to guide us. Rise in hope, in prayer. We find ourselves here in a hope, in prayer. We're right here in a hope, in prayer. We find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here and we rise. All of the children rise.